faster. It expands. I think it's already grown.
About 6 feet. 6 feet.
5 gallons a minute. 324.3. It is.
We fracked it.
Eyelash. Okay.
Rich and Kathie here again. The update on the well drilling. We decided to frack the well. It was a big success. We went from half a gallon a minute to 5 gallons a minute. The water is crystal clear.
Beautiful.
It comes out like 48 degrees, cold. Of course, we'll probably have it tested, right? But we drank some of it, and we're not sick.
No.
My wife, who is a geologist, will explain a little bit more further. Okay? What do you say?
Well, the reason we chose to frack was because we do plan on having a lot of animals.
Mm-hmm.
And it is our grow old house. So we wanted to make sure that we did it right the first time, right? And not have to do it again later down the road. They go down 50 feet below the wellhead, and they put that rubber, we have a picture of it, we'll put in. Is that made of rubber? What is that? Okay.
A hard rubber with wire lining. And this expands.
Okay, cool.
You got a line that hooks into here, a little hydraulic pump makes that expand.
Right.
You go down, it expands, so it's got a tight fit, and then the water is injected out through the bottom, but it just keeps all the pressure below this, because if that didn't expand, our water would just come up out of the hole.
The water is flushed through the center of that to pressurize what's below it. And that's the way it works.
Fracking does sound scary, and a lot of the people that we told that we were deciding to do this were like, I can't believe you're going to frack. So I just wanted to talk for a minute about what fracking really is and how it's different than the fracking that they do for oil and gas. First of all, the Adirondack Mountains, where we are, is a metamorphic rock called gneiss, where they hydro-frack for oil and gas is a shale that is a sedimentary rock. So this is not even the same kind of rock. That's number one. Number two, when the well drillers actually use the exact same principles as the frackers for oil and gas. However, the well drillers do it on a really, really small scale. We're talking a really small private well. They only go down 50 feet past your wellhead. So in our situation, how deep was our wellhead?
I think it was 70 feet they went down.
20
total.
feet was the wellhead, right?
20 feet.
So they went 50 feet below that. So when they hydrofracked, they really only went down 70 feet. So it's not a very deep thing, and it's on a really small scale because our well is only 6-inch diameter, right?
Right.
And they only pumped 2,000 gallons of water, fresh, clean water with nothing else in.
No chemicals, right?
Right. So when they do the fracking for oil and gas, they're doing it on a much, much larger scale. They're going to much greater depths, and they're adding sometimes chemicals or salts and other things to the water, which is why there's pollution and other problems created, and even sometimes earthquakes. So again, a really small scale, nothing like the hydrofracking for oil and shale. No chemicals are involved. We didn't even feel it when the rocks cracked. We were standing right there.
There was no rumbling or anything like
Nothing.
that. The gauge went to about 500 pounds for a few seconds, and then boom, it dropped right off.
Oh, actually, that's another good point. Because with the hydrofracking for oil and shale, they go to really high PSIs. Really high, thousands and thousands. When they're fracking for private wells, what do you say? 3,500 is like the absolute max, and it never really goes that high. And a few days later, Ron came and he did the measurements, the flow rate, and they figured out that we have 5 gallons per minute. Right now, we're currently waiting to see what our static level is going to be. We're giving that like a week or so to level out. There was a lot of rain up there, so we're waiting to see what that static level is because this was really expensive.
Basically, what Ron did was pump that well all day long for 4 hours or so.
5, I think he was there.
4 or 5 hours. He just pumped that well to a point where it dropped to a level where it equalized with the flow that it was filling from the fractures. And that level was about 324 feet. So at 324 feet, we could constantly draw 5 gallons per minute. The pump itself is going to be submerged in the well around 400 feet down. So we'll have plenty of water. We'll probably never run out.
I hope.
It was just a huge success. It was worth the money to spend.
To do now rather than later.
Now we know that we're in good shape for the future.
It did really put us way over budget. So
Right.
as far as doing a pump house right now and having the water, that's not really that's not in the immediate future. So that's why we're waiting
Right.
patiently
So-
for the static level.
Last we checked, it was 9 feet below below the surface. So with that, we could even use a pitcher pump.
Right, a pitcher pump is the little hand pumps, for those of you who don't know, because I didn't know. And that goes down up to 30 feet,
You
I
could
think?
draw up to down to 30 feet
About
with
30
that.
feet down. And there's a lot of good videos on YouTube showing how to install those. Actually, one of them is really great. We'll actually link to that.
Yeah, so for us to get water to fill the camper or whatever, it's easy. It'll be easy.
That's our plan. Hopefully we can do that for like under $200. So at least in the meantime, we'll be able to use our perfect, beautiful, pristine, fresh water.
So that's it. Anything else?
I don't think so. I'm really happy. Are you happy?
I'm happy.
So stay tuned for a possible pitcher pump video, because that's our next step, so that we can at least use the water.
So for us, the fracking was a big success. Hopefully this alleviated everybody from all their fears and concerns about fracking and how dangerous it is.
Don't be
and all
afraid
this.
of it. It's worth it.
This is nothing like going for natural gas or oil or anything like that. So
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I guess
like and subscribe.
thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and feel free to comment. And we'll see you on the next video.
Thanks. Have a great day.